Hello everyone, this is your daily dose of English. If you're new to the channel, use the link in the description to watch the first video in the series. If you are a regular viewer, please subscribe. It costs nothing and you can always change your mind. This video contains exercises. Make sure you pause to finish all of them. Does Dolly Parton sleep on her back? Meaning, the phrase is used to mean obviously yes. It's like when someone asks a question with an obvious answer. It's similar to asking if the Pope is Catholic, which is clearly true. Example, do birds fly in the sky? Is like asking, does Dolly Parton sleep on her back? Pick the word, or two, and the idiom that best represents the idiom's meaning. Explain how the image is related to the idiom. Can you think of a memory where this idiom might apply? Since when, not comparable. Meaning, it is used to express surprise or doubt about something someone said. It questions the truth or starting point of a statement. For example, if someone claims something unusual, you might say this to challenge them. Example, you're telling me cats can fly now? Since when? Pick the word in the idiom that best represents the idiom's meaning. Explain how the image is related to the idiom. Can you recall a situation where this idiom would fit? What would Jesus do? Can you explain the meaning? Meaning, it helps people think about how to make good and kind choices. It encourages acting with love, honesty, and fairness, like Jesus would. Example, when you're upset with a friend, stop and ask yourself, what would Jesus do? Do you remember the most characteristic word you picked for this idiom? Explain meaning in your native language. What did your last slave die of? Can you explain the meaning? Meaning, this phrase is used sarcastically to point out when someone is being overly demanding or bossy. It suggests that the person is treating others like servants and being unreasonable in their requests. Example, your friend asks you to bring them a drink while you are resting. You roll your eyes and say, what did your last slave die of? Do you remember the most characteristic word you picked for this idiom? Explain meaning in your native language. Are you blind? What was the meaning? Meaning, when someone doesn't see or notice something obvious, you might question their perception. It implies they overlooked something clear. It often shows surprise or frustration. Example, you almost tripped over that big rock in front of you. Are you blind? Do you remember the most characteristic word you picked for this idiom? Perform a direct translation into your language. Does it still make sense? How can you sleep at night? What was the meaning? Meaning, the phrase is often used to express disbelief or anger towards someone who has done something wrong or hurtful. It suggests that the person should feel bad or guilty about their actions. It implies that their conscience should bother them so much that they can't rest. Example, you know that what you did was wrong, so how can you sleep at night? Do you remember the most characteristic word you picked for this idiom? Perform a direct translation into your language. Does it still make sense? How no? Not comparable. Do you remember the meaning? Meaning, when someone says, I don't want to go out today, asking how no means you're asking for an explanation. You want to know why it's not true, or why they feel that way. It invites them to share their reasons. It's a way to start a conversation about their statement. Example, I don't like ice cream. How no? Why don't you love weekends? How no? Do you remember the most characteristic word you picked for this idiom? Perform a direct translation into your language. Does it still make sense? Does Macy's tell Gimbals? Do you remember the meaning? Meaning, it means that businesses don't share secrets with their competitors. Macy's and Gimbals were two big department stores, and this saying illustrates how rivals keep information to themselves. It's a way to say that competition usually means keeping things private. Example, when asked if we would reveal our new strategy to the competition, I replied, "Do rivals share their secrets?" Do you remember the most characteristic word you picked for this idiom? Explain the meaning in simple words. Is it just me? Do you remember the idiom? Meaning, sometimes people ask if others share their thoughts or feelings. They want to know if they are alone in their experience, or if others feel the same way. It's a way to connect with others who might have similar feelings. Example, is it just me or are the days getting shorter lately? Do you remember the most characteristic word you picked for this idiom? Perform a direct translation into your language. Does it still make sense? Do bears shit in the woods? What was the meaning? Meaning, it's a way to say something is obviously true. It means yes by pointing out something that is obvious, like bears living and doing their business in the woods. Example, friend 1. Do you think she'll say yes to the party invitation? Friend 2. Do bears shit in the woods? This means friend 2 thinks it's very likely she'll say yes. Do you remember the most characteristic word you picked for this idiom? Explain why this idiom means what it means. Are your ears burning? What was the meaning? Meaning, this phrase is used when talking about someone who is not there. It suggests that the person was being discussed just moments ago. It's like a friendly way of saying, "We were thinking about you." Example, are your ears burning? We just mentioned your name during our chat. Do you remember the most characteristic word you picked for this idiom? Explain meaning in your native language. Do you kiss your mother with that mouth? Do you remember the meaning? Meaning, this phrase is used to call out someone for using bad language. It's a way to highlight that their words are inappropriate by suggesting that it's surprising or shocking, considering they also use that mouth to kiss someone they respect, like their mother. Example, after hearing his rude words, she asked, "You kiss your mother with that mouth?" Do you remember the most characteristic word you picked for this idiom? Explain why this idiom means what it means. Well done. That's all for today. If you forgot one of the materials, it's all right. Write it down on paper and repeat it tomorrow, 1 week later, and 2 weeks after that. Do you remember all new material? Take your time and pause the video. Do you remember the meanings of all repeated materials? Thank you. That's all for today. Bye, and see you really, really soon. You can